I'm Claude Edwards, and you're listening to Flashpoint Radio. Wherever I travel around the globe, I have access to Flashpoint Radio, and so should you. Flashpoint Radio in a class all by itself.
Like peering through a window blurred with rain, emotions run together in a flood of doubt and pain. We pray as best we can. Now we must leave it in His hands. Yet I know when my eyes fail to see, He is able. Even though it seems
I'm Audley Scott, and you're listening to Flashpoint Radio, Rise and Shine, your morning boost of inspiration, news, and fun, with Mikey G, Lady Elise, and Coralie Karen, the unmistakable combination, synergized to navigate.
It's like we're running in circles, going around every day, getting stuck in the hurdles of yesterday. Don't you wanna go further, away from the fray? Let's not get stuck in our worries, we'll make our own way. Won't you come outside where the sunflowers bloom? Breathe in the air, look up to the moon. I'll meet you outside, away from the crowd.
It is a beautiful Monday, and of course, I'm not sure what Lady Crowley Karen has chosen to name the day. It's usually Magnificent Monday, Marvelous Monday, Merciful Monday, and I'm sure she has something in her pocket, something that she will reveal to me quite soon. Good morning, listeners and viewers. Good morning, Cordy Karen and Mikey G. It is an exceptional day today, and I say good morning and welcome.
Absolutely, Lady Elise. Let's land with Merry Monday. Good morning to you too, and Mikey G. I know that irrespective of what's going on, there's something to be merry about. So I land with Merry Monday.
And of course, she didn't disappoint Mikey G.
No, she did not. She did not at all disappoint me this morning because, as she said a while ago, there's so much to be happy about. So many things are not going the way we want them to go, but indeed, there is much to give thanks for. And so this morning, we are going to be very careful not to disappoint, but to give thanks this morning.
Just us in the sky. I will go wherever, I'll be honest
Scott, and you're listening to Flashpoint Radio, Rise and Shine, your morning boost of inspiration, news, and fun, with Mikey G, Lady Elise, and Coralie Karen, the unmistakable combination, synergized to navigate.
What a Monday we are having. Of course, Coralie has named the day. Good morning, Coralie Karen.
It's Merry Monday.
Merry Monday. And we shall not be disappointed today. There's much to talk about this morning on this morning's episode of the Breakfast Hour. Indeed, God has blessed us with one more chance to come and give Him thanks. And thankful we must be.
Absolutely. When you think about all that God has done for us, we came through the weekend. There are many persons in the hospitals. There are many persons incarcerated. There are so many persons who are in the morgue. But here we are on this Merry Monday, finding more than enough reasons to give thanks. So on that note, how was your weekend, guys? Oh, that sounds sinister. Did you misbehave this weekend, Michael G?
Did I mistake?
Misbehave. Alright, well, don't worry. Lady Eddie's jump right in at this moment.
It's a beautiful morning, and of course, if you are right here in Grand Cayman, you would be experiencing nice sunny weather conditions. I understand that there are some places that have been experiencing some cloudy days with scattered showers, little rain here and there. But that's what life is all about. It's a mix of experiences, and certainly we had a mix of experiences this weekend. And of course, I must pause at this time to welcome our brand new subscribers, Coralie Karen and Mikey G. We are 999 subscribers strong.
Confetti.
999. 999. What's not to smile
We're
about?
starting this morning with nines. All nines this morning.
All nines this morning. And I would want our listeners to just chime in and let us know what's happening where you are. Hope that you're all doing fine. If you're in Edmonton, in Canada, UK, say a special good morning. I know it would have been later on in the day for you, but a good morning to you and welcome to the Breakfast Hour. We plan to take you through this morning in fine style.
Well, welcome. I want to add my quote of welcome. The truth is that it means that those who are sharing the link, those who are encouraging, that they didn't want to keep it to themselves. And so 999, we are ecstatic that you are here, and we ask you, so just as how you were invited, please invite others, because the more we are together, the happier we will be. And certainly we will be merry as a result.
You could say it like this: the more we are together, the happier Mikey G. All right.
We certainly love to, we love to spread the love.
Yes.
So
definitely,
by all means, share with your friends, your colleagues, your family members, so that they too can have a piece of what you're experiencing even now. And remember, we're here for 24 hours. We start the morning with breakfast, or where we serve you a variety of options, and we ask you to comment. Share with us what part of the breakfast did you like? What part of it got you motivated? Because that's what we're here for, to start your day on a note of encouragement, on a note of anticipation. Because as you go out hereafter, you don't know what you will encounter. There are going to be good moments.
Yes.
There are going to be not so good moments. But guess what? Our aim is to make sure we start you on the right footing. We know that God has been amazing in seeing us through to another morning, and we're not taking it for granted. We're making sure that you have a bit, a taste of all that sumptuous here on the breakfast hour.
All right, so with that note, and I'm telling you, just when Curly Karen has explained it, and of course laid that table down, I'm just, yeah, syllables are happening. All right, so now, of course, it's time for a devotional, but today I'm going to be giving you a little bit different this morning, emotional desires this morning from the lady Carla McGarvey Blair this morning. Stay tuned to Flashpoint. You're in tune with the breakfast hour. Have yourself a grand morning while you stay.
Looking to build your dream home or renovate your space? M&M Construction is the perfect place. We bring your vision to life with precision and quality craftsmanship. From design to construction, we guide you every step, ensuring seamless coordination and superior results. Our professional roof inspection and maintenance services will ensure that your roof is sturdy this hurricane season. So, if you are ready to start your construction journey, call us today at 345-927-7509. Build with confidence. Build with M&M Construction. 345-927-7509.
Welcome to Devotional Desires. Thoughts just for you. Yes, just you. I knew that I was not finished with Joseph at all. As my favorite Bible character, he has taught me well. It was in Psalms 56 verse 4 that he says, "In God I have put my trust. I will not fear what flesh can do to me." Now here are two more things Joseph understood that we need to understand as well. One, we can't afford to give in to self-pity. Perhaps some of us are going through trials right now, and we are innocent parties, victims of a situation we didn't even cause. Consider Joseph's reaction when he was in a similar position. The first thing he didn't do was succumb to self-pity. Why? Because it's a major contributor to depression. Often when we experience a serious problem and our self-esteem is already at its lowest ebb, we start blaming ourselves and putting ourselves down. Joseph didn't do that. He understood that the crisis he was in wasn't of his own making, and he tried to look at it realistically. When we are in a storm and we allow our boats to turn sideways, the storm will capsize us. Similarly, when storms come into our lives, the best way to overcome them is to trust God and face them head on like Joseph did. Number two, we should never ever make a major decision when we are depressed. Many times when we are discouraged, we are tempted to say, "I'm going to give up," or "I'm going to switch teams," or "I'm going to end the relationship." Please don't do that. When we are downcast and despondent, our feelings are unreliable, our focus becomes blurred, and we lose our perspective when it comes to exercising good judgment. So what should we do? Trust God. Trust God to bring us through it. Say with the psalmist, "In God I have put my trust. I will not fear what flesh can do to me." Lord, help us to trust you more and more each day. We want to be an example to others, leaving legacy of you throughout our lives so that others can see us and be led to you. We are sinful, Lord, and acknowledge that fact. So God, please God, forgive and help us to forgive others too. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Yes, my dear friends, it is for us to see and learn from Christ, who is our main character in our lives. And now you see why I love Joseph so much. Carla McGarvey Blair reminding you that devotional desires are thoughts just for you. Yes, just you.
Devotional desires are just for you this morning. That's what Carla Mugabe Blair has said this morning. Just for you. Well, in this case, I'm going to take a little bit for myself. Just for me. Of course, welcome to the breakfast hour, and we are here once again to, do the one thing that we always do. Be grateful for the little or the much that has been given to us. I was reading the Bible this weekend and was not doing the Bible year as, probably should be, but I was looking at some of Jesus' parable, and it spoke about the man who went and he had a field and he employed some persons to work in it. One set in the morning, one midday, and one in the mid-afternoon. Somewhere far down about 3 o'clock in the day. All given the same pay. And it gave a little problem. For the ones who got paid at the end of the day got the same pay as the one at the beginning of the day. And some persons were very jealous about it. Would you be too? I'm thinking. Lady Corley Karen, probably you'll be jealous the same, I don't know.
It's interesting because the culture has been currently, or is currently, that people do not share those intimate details I suspect for that very reason, that if you don't know, then you won't be concerned. But I think in a big way it is saying to us, stay in your lane, because if you negotiated 10 cents for your pay, then you shouldn't be looking over the fence. You shouldn't be concerning yourself with your co-workers and what's going on with them. If it is that you're giving your best, then do what you need to do, because your negotiation is what you should be concerned with, not the others. But then I think the parable is very instructive, because what it is saying to us is, no matter what time we come into an awareness of the love of God, then we are all, because of the cross, and we're enabled to access the mercies and the eternal life that God has given.
Jesus had a tough time explaining that to a lot of persons.
And it's easy to say, Mikey G, it's easy to say, because sometimes when you look at your colleague who is the same rank as you, and maybe their appearance is more impressive, then you are sometimes tempted to wonder, why is your amount not stretching to as much as theirs or in the space? But it's for us to, you don't know what the other person is doing, and that's one of the things my mom taught me. She's like, you don't know what people did to get their own, so don't be looking over the fence and be too concerned. If you keep your eyes on what it is that you're doing, then those sort of, you like to say, is it jealousy you had said, or bad man?
It's a little bit of envy, for persons who would be seeing it. But when you look at it, Lady Curly Karen, and you see, if you match it metaphorically with the biblical principles that Jesus was trying to teach, that there are some persons who would be in early, and you'd be cemented, you're a part of the faith early in the day, and those who come later in the day is getting the same thing as you are, or you shouldn't be qualified for the same thing. And it troubles. This morning I started the conversation and said that the Christian walk is a very serious thing, because for some unknown reason, We do not teach the idea that Christians are persons who are of sinful nature. We teach the idea that there is a perfect set of persons who have somehow got stranded here on earth with these sinful people, and now they're trying to just stay good and not make nobody disrupt their peace and keep themselves safe away from everybody else, so they can get to heaven where they were before, and so they won't be left behind. And so it's not the teaching of people who are sinful become Christians and then or become or try to become perfect persons or try to change the ways. It is that if you are that person, you have no right and no business to come about you're Christian now. You are a wicked person, you are this before, and now you're a Christian. How dare you come claim Christianity when you were so wicked before you did this? It's a serious thing.
And you know,
I see this, I saw it. I'm like, wow, what a thing.
Yeah, that's the reality. And the truth is, I remember when in doing the study recently, I was reminded that the church is a hospital. But most of us, we don't realize that we're patients.
No.
Right? Most of us believe that we're the physicians. We're the ones who are tasked. We are entitled to be there. And you're very right. If we stop and realize, look in the mirror and stack ourselves against not our neighbor, not our the church sister or brother sitting beside us, but recognize that we are aiming to be like Christ, then it gives us a different flavor. But oftentimes we are so stuck on how many years we've been in the church, the position that we hold, and it gives us a whole lot more authority in even what we do. I'm reminded of the thief on the cross and the fact that his recognition of who Christ was didn't give him any less opportunity for entering God's kingdom. And a lot of times, those of us who have been in the church for decades, we sit and we do nothing. And then when somebody new comes in with zeal and energy and the passion, we sit down comfortable, all cushioned up, and wonder why we're not as active as the other person, or how dare that person just coming in and have so much authority or has gotten a position in the church. It says to me that we really have not gotten it right. We don't understand why we're here.
I'm not hearing much from Lady Elise this morning. I don't know if she had some thing to say, and somehow we have blocked her from saying it. So I'm gonna not say what I'm gonna say next, and then when she finishes saying what she's saying, I will jump right in there.
Listen, I've been just enjoying the conversation and listening. There is
you're not on the breakfast hour to listen later.
Yes, but I have to listen and formulate. Right?
You need to get your radio. You need to get your radio.
That's what I'm doing presently. I'm listening. I'm following the chat. I'm also keeping myself abreast of what's celebrated today. And certainly, I am recognizing, yes, sometimes we sit in the church all cushiony and expect others to do stuff. But sometimes we don't get asked to do stuff either, Curly Karen.
We want to say this one. I know you directed it to Curly Karen, but there's something that I want to say. Do you realize how the concept of the word church, I say this and I keep saying it. The word church is never applied to a building. How did we get that wrong? And so by naming the building church, we think we are belonging to a club or this place that we go to. And so if you are not, you name yourself a member of the thing. If I am the church I cannot be a member of the church because I am it. You understand?
You're
I
the
am
church.
the church. I can't be a member. I am it. And once you become a Christian, you are the church. Not a
Yes.
member of, but the, right? And this is something that is very, somebody said, Mikey G, you used to come with so many semantics sometimes. And it sounds as if you come up with this. But I've been knocking this door for years. The same statement has been made for years. People look at it and they say it don't make any sense. But if you ever make the mistake of saying the church goes to the temple of God or to God's house, the sanctuary, these are words, then you'll find yourself not feeling like if you are not a member of it, the church goes on without you because you're not a member anymore. So the church is separate from being a member. And this is not true.
You know, what comes to my mind, Mikey G, is one of the biggest events that took place on over the weekend, Global Youth Day.
Let me finish this point. Let me finish this point, Lady Karen. Let me finish this point.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were.
No, let me finish this point. And so what we did was, we said that a world church, the church where the conference is the church, which that is also one of the biggest myth and misconception that we can ever come up with. That's not true. And we know it's not true. Right? So if we are going to say we have organization, then we must see the organization for what the organization is. If I have a business, I have a corporate office that runs the business. And so the conferences are the corporate offices that runs the businesses of the church. The people, the church. And so we have misaligned the thing so much that every time we have a problem, we blame the conference and the persons in the executive position for what they're doing. We should not, because we are the church and we have the express duty to direct the authorities that we put there to operate over our affairs. And so we have to be seeing this as a clearer picture going forward, Lady Karen. You were talking about Global Youth Day.
Right, but then to that last point that you made, you know, how do you see us doing that, making an impact on the decisions at the head office?
By first realizing who we are. It's like black people have been going through slavery, and how you have kept black people slaves was by taking away their names and their rights to things. Like they don't know that they have these rights. And all of a sudden, the civil rights movement had to come in to start say that black people have rights as much as the other Caucasian people. Which the same rights were there all along, but you had to make laws to say that they are. That's a rubbish argument. So just by making the laws, it basically disqualified the person from being equalized with everybody else. You're a separate entity that needs some help to become something that is not you. You know? And so we want the first thing to be realizing that you are who you are and don't be misunderstood. First, don't misunderstand yourself and who you are and what you represent. Then you'll be clearer on what you're supposed to do with that. You know? So I would look at it from that perspective.
I think for me, when I think about the civil rights movement, it takes me back to the fact that slaves were treated as chattel.
Right.
Things to be bought and sold. And so it's changing.
So you weren't people.
These were laws.
You weren't people. You were not people. You were not people. And because you were not people, you were animals, you were dogs and everything else. Then you had to have some laws that now qualifies you to be people. And civil rights, the civil rights laws are just laws that qualify people to be people. Black people to be people. That's all it is. It is not to say that you have these rights of anything. It's just to put you in a stead. It's like when there was some in South Africa, when in the apartheid days, when you were playing cricket, Sir Garfield Sobers and all these guys, there was what you call the honorary white people. That those persons, if you're going to play, they had to be named honorary whites to go to South Africa to play in the league down there as black men. And if you weren't named or assigned the honorary white status, you could not play because you were not qualified to be people. You understand? And so that is what the civil rights movement actually aligns itself with. A qualifier to make black people people. You know? That's what it is.
Well, then it says to me that the law has a significant impact on how we interpret or how we see ourselves, because if they were chattel before, the law is what now gave them the status. Otherwise, they would still be considered chattel.
Very good. Very good.
Right. But I was going to back to your point on the impact of the building versus the people.
Yes.
And the fact that on Global Youth Day, which was, what was observed is the fact that throughout all churches, regardless of location, it was celebrated by every single individual, meaning we went out to impact the community, and it was absolutely beautiful to see the young people all dressed in similar branded shirts, going out and sharing the gospel. I remember we visited a home, and the lady there, she was like, so glad to see the young people taking part in this element of ministry. To your point, we need to do more of that so that the community is seeing us beyond the location, the physical location of the building, so that they can recognize, even in our regular commute, that we have more than just somewhere to go, that we can actually come out of the building and go into the community to make an impact. It was really something to behold, and those who were receptive is another thing. We met a young man who, well, he's no longer actively at church, and the team used the opportunity to encourage him, as well as his mom, who she's now a senior person, and the invitation was extended to them if it is that they want us as a community to support her, to visit her more. And so it was really heartwarming to see the church in action.
Here's a statement for you. Here's a statement for you. You wake up in the morning and say, I am going to church. Just by saying that alone, you have defeated the entire concept of who you are. As no longer you realize that you are the church, going to the temple of God. So if the building is not the temple of God, then whose is it?
Yeah.
And we want to name it so. We want to say it's a building, it's a temple of God, but we did not name it so. We name it the building for the church, which is for us, but not for God. We say so, but did we name it so? Names are important, and by naming something, it is what you say it is. By not naming it so, it is not so. It sounds semantical, but lady, at least I think that you want to share some pictures with us.
I should want to share pictures.
All right. And what's happening in our world today? What's happening in our world today?
We hit 1,000 subscribers while we're sitting here.
Whoa! I mean, really and truly, there should be some confetti somewhere.
I
don't know what to put there. I have no idea.
Confetti, I found one.
Here it is.
Yes, Corley has found some confetti.
Absolutely.
So on this historic day,
1,000 subscribers today, Monday, the 17th day of March. Yes.
So today is also Saint Patrick's Day, and this
Oh,
is
Which one? Which one? The saints those were? It was not okay. Jesus is what was it?
well, it's celebrated as a Irish holiday, even though there are persons in the U.S. who claim Irish descent
Yes.
that also celebrate St. Patrick's Day, and usually persons are dressed in green traditionally on St. Patrick's Day.
We celebrated
And-
Saint Valentine's Day earlier. Remember that one?
Yes. And there's a question here, according to the nationalcalendar.com. It says, can I pinch someone who isn't wearing green on St. Patrick's Day? The tradition of pinching those who don't wear green on St. Patrick's Day come from the belief that we are wearing green made one invisible to the fairies and the leprechauns, spreading mischief on that day. Yeah. Very, very interesting point of view. And interestingly, there is a traditional meal that is had on St. Patrick's Day. And so today is also celebrated as National Corned Beef and Cabbage Day.
Who like corned beef and cabbage? Who like corned here? Let me put up my hand.
You're supposed to be vegetarian, Mikey G.
I am.
Corned beef
I
is
am
not
vegetarian. I only eat the animals who eat grass. Vegetable.
vegetation. Oh, that's
Vegetation.
And here am I thinking that corned beef and cabbage was a Jamaican thing.
Nope.
I am learning otherwise today that it's not. It's not. It's something that Jamaicans do enjoy as well, but it is a traditional meal held by had by the Irish on St. Patrick's Day, which is celebrated today.
It's interesting because whereas I would observe the green, I also notice that it's more alcohol that they use to celebrate it. So it's Heineken and those green beverage or green bottled beverage that is associated with
So Lady Curly, you know about Heineken and this?
I can't. I read it on the bottle.
That's a good comeback. That's a good comeback. She read it on the bottle.
Answer.
But listen, in full disclosure, when I was younger, I could not, and I still to this day in my more senior, understand why people drink those things. I tasted it. It tastes.
Lady Curly, Karen, come on. You have not had an Heineken yet?
Yet I tasted it. It is so.
Let me ask you. So Jesus is here making wine. Jesus is here making wine, and you have not tasted any of it.
Well, I am sure he didn't.
No, please, guys, hold on. Let me just do this. Don't pay me any mind.
Yes,
I'm just
could you have a
messing around.
disclaimer,
I'm just
please?
messing around.
We do not promote the
We
consumption.
do not.
of-
We do not. We definitely do not. We are just here telling you. I'm
But
messing
I
with you
mean,
guys.
outside of the harm that it does,
Please don't let Mikey G throw you off this line.
Mikey G, if you don't, you would not be Mikey G. You're known.
Well, that's a peer pressure. That's a peer pressure. That's a peer pressure conversation in Curly Curry. You have not had a Heineken yet. You never drink a rum yet. You never drink a beer. And if you never drink it, half your life gone. This has been the statements that peer pressure plays on lots of persons who would have never had it. You never eat piece of pork yet. Oh, it's sweet. Man, you miss half your life gone. And this is peer pressure. I've never had pork. Knowingly. Let me put it like that. So I can't say it another way because I've never gone to the shop, bought a piece of pork and go cook it. But if somebody lays it with pork and give me something that had pork product in there, possibly that might happen. I am not sure because we were given a message that says we should have our own canning factories and stuff like that. Produce our own food. And we, somewhere along the line, maybe we have a few factories, but it's not enough to supply all of us. I don't know. But anyways, That was something that was supposed to be in full-fledged 150 years ago. We got that revelation that people, unscrupulous persons, is going to lace our food with all sorts of things. And we are going to say, we don't eat these things. But when you buy the stuff without knowing, it's like when you buy like things like marshmallows and stuff, it has some product of pork in it. And our kids love it. And the jello and these things, and our kids love it. And we say, we do not eat pork. Did you eat some marshmallows this week, guys? Oh, man. I'm just being real here, you know, and we misrepresent ourselves with the message. We throw aside our message and then expect to be people who have information to tell anybody. You have no information. You throw away what you believe. That's it.
Well, I would say, Mikey G, in one's ignorance, God wins. So you would have educated a large number of the population about marshmallow and at least that ingredient that is from a part of it. So
holding the leadership who should have done better to not allow the people to fall prey to this in a lot of. It's like stripe with many stripes.
Well, I would say to you, that you would have done a great job in distilling it, because as I said, many people would not have known otherwise, and so you are now a part of sharing the information and using the platform to do just that. Who would have thought that my being able to read would have taken the conversation to this in this direction? We started with Lady Elise sharing with us about what is being celebrated today, and I noticed that not one of us is in green.
Well, I was not planning to celebrate St. Patrick Day with any fairies. So. I don't know how we're saints and fairies. You see, so when we look at some of these celebrations and some of these things, we're actually celebrating witchcraft and all these things, you know. And when we unknowingly do it is one thing, but because we claim the position of God's people with the message of truth, you should at least know truth, man. You know, you should have, at least we should know truth. You know. And
we're in the information age as well.
Yeah, we have too much information to still
Google
to claim what you call ignorance. And Dr. Google just say is there making up the story as it goes along, and they're telling the truth now. The thing that we always used to say is a conspiracy before. People who are hiding in the dark. We have warlocks and witchcraft and witches and persons and the one world order and these persons who are Freemasons and all these things. These things were things that people talked about. These people are now parading the platforms everywhere saying we are these people. We were talked about for many years, and now here we are. We are not a myth. So you're proud. So don't worry, guys. It is just in front of you. But guess what? We still don't see it. We are still blind.
And on that note, and we're noticing the time, I think we are now at news, Lady Elise. Mikey G, it's now news time, and so we are continuing to invite our viewers and our listeners, stay with us. I know some of you may be on your way to work, depending on where you are and the time in that location. And so our aim here is to make your morning a great start to the day. It's the breakfast hour. And we have all the discussions here, everything, different opinions, and some being very thought-provoking. And so we invite you to stay with us. We're now at the news time, but at the end of the news, we return to take you out of the breakfast hour.
I did not hear Lady Ellie say anything, but let me say this before she say what she's going to say and bring us to the news. The views expressed here by Michael G is not necessarily those of Lady Curly Curran and
Thank you very much. On that note, it's time for news. Let's hear what's happening across Cayman and the rest of the world.
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Asai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4 Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Asai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Asai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
Good morning. It is Monday, March 17th, and these are the news headlines on Flashpoint Radio. I'm Cordy Karen. Survivor Superfan brings his version of hit TV show to Cayman. Fans of the hit reality TV show Survivor in the Cayman Islands are about to see a local twist on the globally popular series. Survivor Cayman Islands is a brainchild of Australian lawyer Joseph Bates, who has been passionate about reality TV since childhood. After multiple attempts to join the Australian Survivor series, Bates decided to bring his own version of the competition to the Cayman Islands. The show, which was filmed on island, will launch online later this month, offering local contestants their moment in the spotlight. $1,000 prize for Smartest Diver in Road Safety Challenge. The Cayman Motoring Federation is encouraging local drivers to take part in the Smart Driving Challenge aimed at promoting road safety and driving efficiency. Running from March 17th to April 17th, participants will use an app that scores their driving in real time. The safest and most efficient driver will win a $1,000 prize, while an additional $500 Eco Champion Award will go to the most environmentally conscious motorist. Drivers interested in participating can request an invitation code via email at info@caymanmotoringfederation.org. Fishing in Cayman faces renewed licensing debate. Fishing has long been a part of life in Cayman, but as fish stocks decline, debates over licensing and sustainability are intensifying. Some argue that changes in fishing habits, particularly among newer residents, are putting strain on marine resources, while others see fishing as a means of survival for low-wage workers. The discussion continues as authorities consider regulations to balance conservation with Cayman's cultural traditions. Key takeaways from East End candidates debate. Thursday's East End candidates debate, hosted by the Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce, provided insights into the political priorities of the 5 candidates vying for the constituency. While the live stream faced technical issues, topics discussed included education, landfill management, traffic congestion, immigration policies, and the erosion of 7 Mile Beach. The debate lacked strong candidate interaction, but notable moments included comments on crime and beach encroachment. And now to regional news. Caribbean nations on potential new U.S. travel ban list. A draft proposal reportedly under consideration by the U.S. government suggests that several Caribbean nations may face travel restrictions. According to the New York Times, Cuba is the only regional nation on the most severe red tier, which would impose a complete travel ban. Haiti appears on the orange list, facing significant entry restrictions, while Dominica, St. Lucia, Antigua and Barbuda, and St. Kitts and Nevis are on the yellow list, given 60 days to improve security measures. Officials from the affected countries are seeking clarification from U.S. authorities. St. Lucia and Dominica await clarifications on U.S. visa restrictions. St. Lucia's Prime Minister, Philip J. Pierre, and the government of Dominica have both stated that they have received no formal communication from the U.S. regarding possible visa restrictions. Both governments have instructed their respective embassies to seek further clarification following media reports that they are on the draft list of 43 countries under review for security-related concerns. They emphasize their commitment to strengthening diplomatic ties with the United States. Those were your news headlines on Flashpoint Radio. Stay tuned for more updates throughout the day.
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Asai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4 Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Asai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Asai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
I'm Audley Scott, and you're listening to Flashpoint Radio. Rise and shine. Your morning boost of inspiration, news, and fun. With Mikey G, Lady Elise, and Coralie Karen, the unmistakable combination, synergized to navigate.
Welcome back. Welcome. Well, we are almost at the end of breakfast this morning. For those of you who started the journey with us from earlier, I hope that you found something to your liking and that you're enjoying the time with us. And if you're just joining us, don't worry. We continue the breakfast hour for maybe another 5 minutes. But you can stay tuned to Flashpoint Media.ky. Did I get it right, Mikey G?
You did. You did get it right.
Awesome.
Yes.
Because we're 24 hours. We make sure that we keep your company throughout the day, and we make it special at breakfast time, because it is said that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And so that's why we're here, making sure that you know how important you are to us. We just listened to the news, Mikey G. I don't know if there's anything that landed with you and you wanted to comment.
Well, actually, the debate on the environmental and stuff like that was going on, and I was saying, we should have covered that event somehow. We missed that. and I feel a little bad over it in a sense. But just to hear the concerns that persons are having, and this is election time, and they are all parties, all hands on deck, trying to get the solutions or choose the right candidates that will proceed or oversee the affairs of the country and will do the best job on behalf of the people. So having a debate is a very good thing, that people can hear their concerns and see who is aligned with what, going forward in this election. So, that's what jumped out at me.
Right. One of the things that I noticed is that there was not much contention during the debate. It could be that the moderators were very good and did not allow much time for rebuttal. But I would agree with you that it is an opportunity for the constituents to hear firsthand what it is that the candidates are bringing to the table, and give them a better view of whether or not their stance, as in the candidate's stance, aligns with theirs. We have come to a time when a lot of people are not very motivated to vote, and so certainly an exercise of this nature is not just only about bringing to the attention of what it is that they aim to achieve, but I believe it's an opportunity to motivate the listeners, those persons who are going to make a difference with their vote, to change their minds if it is that they did not intend to. So to certainly agree. I think for me of concern is the position that the United States has taken with regards to the Caribbean community in terms of how they have listed them, the travel ban. And there's also joined with that is the visa requirement for, I believe it was Trinidad and Dominica.
Yeah.
Yes, and these governments are seeking clarification with regards to that. What it means is that we need to be more attuned to what is going on, because a lot of things are happening and we need to be cognizant so that we know what impacts us and what doesn't, either directly or indirectly, so that we know how to respond,
but,
even individually.
I am saddened by these things that we have to come to this as people, we are we our brother's keeper? I guess the answer is no. We have not been able to do that for a very long time, and there's no interest for that to happen. There is a line in the sand that says, you stay over there and I stay over here. But there's so much going on, and to have this conversation, it's a much broader conversation than just speaking about it on the surface. It's not a surface conversation. This one is a deep-rooted one, and we have to see the nature of it.
I would agree with you, and it has a little bit of, maybe a lot of apprehension.
Yes.
For a lot of people.
Yes.
The Caribbean heads of government are taking stance with regards to some of the positions that have been that are being articulated, and so we're living in interesting times, very, very interesting times. I again would encourage persons to just be aware of what's going on, because a lot is going on, and our aim is to bring the information to this platform so that it whets your appetite, it makes you somewhat aware, but certainly the encouragement is to go out and get as much information as possible so that it manages your response. I see where there is motivation for best driver, even the more eco driver. So persons have an opportunity to sign up. I believe it is an attempt to ask the driving population to be more aware, and here's an incentive to encourage you along those lines. There have been
when
some
you have
accidents.
when you have to pay people to take care of yourself.
Well, you know what? It could be where we have reached.
You can imagine,
You know?
you have to pay me to bathe. Mikey, go bathe. Oh, here's some money. If you bathe, you'll get $50.
Okay.
Come on, guys. You should want to just take care of yourself. You know, you should just want to smell good. You should
on you, Mikey G.
I said it about me because I don't want to say it about anybody else. And then somebody come and say, Mikey G, I defame them in any way. So let me do myself. That's all right.
Agreed. I will not take it away from you because it's best if you use yourself as the example. Nobody can say you're throwing stones or
you're anybody speak pen and then they squeal out and you know you speak get hit. I don't want those speaks the ball on me this morning.
Well, absolutely. You know what, Mikey G, we are at the end of the program. It is another Merry Monday. Yes. And just to encourage our listeners that no matter what happens today, remember that you're not alone. We are our brother's keeper. And as a result, make sure you start with exercising just that. Don't wait for somebody to initiate. You can start it. And however that looks, just accept the responsibility of being a caretaker of the person who is your neighbor. And as we know, Jesus did a fantastic job of telling us who our neighbor is. So go out today and be neighborly to those who you come in contact with.
I did correctly. You made such a plain point, you know. I mean, you said, love your, you know. We talk about brotherly love. And somehow some people have taken it out of context. You know. Oh, they love the brothers.
Well,
so we want to kind of clarify it.
Brother listeners, it only happens on the breakfast hour. Mikey G, you cannot get Mikey G anywhere else but the breakfast hour. So you have to tune in every morning at 6:30 to be a part of this conversation. And we know you're virtual, but the truth is that we're here to make it a great start of the morning for you. And so thank you so very much to those who would have joined on the various platforms, those who are listening. We are here to serve you.
1,000 subscribers today on the breakfast hour. Lady Curly Crane.
Yes, celebrating. Yeah. We're making inroads. We're heading there. And so each one reach one. The 1,000, if you share with at least one other person, then that's how it multiplies. And guess what? They too will have participated or an opportunity to participate in the breakfast that's served here at Flashpoint between the hours of 6:30 and really 8:30 or 9 o'clock thereabouts.
Yes. Yeah, we get a little bit over the time. So it's right now it's 9. Yes. It's 8:45. So here we are.
It's time for us to get out of the studio. It was a wonderful morning. It has been a wonderful time sharing with you in this platform. And again, be your brother's keeper and have a merry Monday.
Thank you, Lady Curly Karen, and of course, Lady Elise this morning for being a part of the panel and of course a part of this show this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, our listeners, our VIP members, especially to you, we want to say a pleasant good morning, a wonderful day, and every single person who come across this message today. Go with peace, go with God, and of course, may He cover and guide and keep you all day throughout, not just today, but the rest of your life. Remember, like, share, subscribe, and of course, hit the notification bell, and every time one of these programs comes up, you will get the first opportunity to hear it. Of course, have yourself a brand new, a fabulous day. Of course, as Lady Corley Curran says, today is indeed one of the best ones we have had so far. Our radio continues on www.flashpointmedia.ky all day. Lots of great stuff comes up. Of course, remember, link up Yardy link up on a Thursday comes up. Some bad music play too. Of course, get some of those in there. Get some people join in and of course enjoy the fun. Call your friends. Send a song or of course request a song for yourself. Have yourself a brand new day, guys. Great day. It's a breakfast hour.
Scott, and you're listening to Flashpoint Radio. Rise and shine. Your morning boost of inspiration, news, and fun. With Mikey G, Lady Elise, and Coralie Karen. The unmistakable combination, synergized to navigate.
It's like we're running in circles, going around every day, getting stuck in the hurdles of yesterday. Don't you wanna go further, away from the fray? Let's not get stuck in our worries, we'll make our own way. Won't you come outside where the sunflowers bloom? Breathe in the air, look up to the moon. I'll meet you outside, away from the crowd. Just you and me together, we'll all sing better outside. Just us in the sky. I will go wherever, I'll be yours Are we part of this circus? Is it innate? Feels like a heavy burden, but I can't relate. Do our actions even matter? Or is this a fate? At least now I'm feeling better, I know I'm here to stay. Won't you come outside where the sunflowers bloom? Breathe in the air, look up to the moon. I'll meet you outside, away from the crowd. Just you and me together, we'll all sing better outside. Just us in the sky. I will go wherever, I'll be yours
We use the internet to advance the gospel of Jesus Christ, transforming lives, renewing hearts 24/7, 7 days a week. Internet radio in a class by itself. We're flashing the gospel around the world as a witness. And someone will say, you know what? I heard it on Flashpoint Radio, and my life has been changed. Flashpoint in a class